there, you gaming ghouls. Welcome to the Secret Levels podcast. Hope you have a bone-chilling time with us and got your cauldron all going, full of those delicious, delicious games. Don't boil them, because some may be worth lots of money, but we will steal them from you in your dreams. And now, to the gamekeeper himself, Toby.
I'm player one.
And I am player two, Goobs.
Ghostly Goobs.
Ghostly Goobs. We'll talk like this all episode.
Please do.
No, I won't.
So, we do a weekly retro video game review. Sometimes old, sometimes new, but most of the time we stick with the retro games.
We love our old crap around here.
It's old crap that's in your closet and we think is very valuable.
Yeah, we review them for everyone, and then we rate them, give them a rage meter, and let you know if it's worth buying, and give our opinions on it. In a short, not really so short, 40 minutes or so, give or take.
That's right. And we are also part of the Somebody's Network, which is not so scary. It's actually full of a bunch of great shows. You can follow all
It should be the Somebodies.
There you go. Spooky.
Ooh. Dad jokes all episode, folks.
Oh, no.
Halloween dad jokes. But yes, go follow the Somebody's Network on Instagram and Twitter at Somebody'sNet. That's at SOMEBUDDIESNET. And there's lots of great shows like The Best Darn Diddly, Throwdown Thursday,
The Derailers, Secret Transmission Podcast,
The Cretans Guild Nerd or Not, and Random Ramblings with Rob. A bunch of great shows. Go check it out. But let's get on with our review this week.
The Halloween Spooktacular. Yeah, we're gonna break down a whole bunch of scary, spooky games this month.
That's right. And we're kicking it off. It's still spooky. It's got spooky characters in there in the game. I don't know if it's necessarily spooky though. What
no, it's got Halloween eccentric characters in it, man.
It does have all the characters you need for a frightful time. That's for sure.
Or any costume you can buy at the dollar store will represent any of these characters in this game. And as you know by the header of this episode, we're talking about Monster in My Pocket.
And we're not talking about my dick.
Jesus, Murphy Jones.
Oh, come on.
When I asked to see Nessie, that's not what I wanted.
Come on now. We were both thinking that joke, and one of us was going to get to it.
No, I definitely wasn't. I was being lighthearted and spooky. You're being lighthearted and creepy.
I'm the creepy old man, which is still scary.
Oh, that's Frankenstein or Dracula. At least you know what they're up to.
Right. So this game was released in 1992. It was developed by Konami. And it was published by Konami in North American regions and Palcom in the PAL regions. And it was exclusively available on the Nintendo Entertainment System.
The Nintendo Entertainment System. Now you're playing with power.
Shit, son. And that's where we played this game.
This game is a single-player game, which is, I feel, kind of unique for Nintendo games, because most Nintendo games didn't do this co-op style so well. Like, two characters on the screen at the same time. It's not...
Yeah, a lot of them were, you take turns playing, like the Mario.
Right, so you could have...
Well, Double Dragon did the two players.
Yeah, but this is a side...
Contra.
Yeah, well, and Contra being Konami, right?
Yeah.
So Konami kind of has it down on their two-player side-scrollers.
I should have tried the code on this game.
Oh, shit. I didn't think about that either. Huh.
Dude, look we're professional podcasters.
So, there's a little bit of a story, because there was a comic book that came out with this game. And this game is actually based on the toys, right?
Yes. The little small toys that were pretty much like the old Muscle Men figures that you would get back in the late 80s, early 90s. Muscle Men were a whole bunch of little figures, they're all skin tone. This was the same take on that, but it was all mythical monsters and creatures, zombies, and pretty much anything they'll just throw into this toy line.
Right, and monsters in your pocket. You put them in your pocket because they're little small toys.
Yep, they were all just one color, just very soft vinyl.
I want to say that they did have some that were multiple colors.
Oh, okay. I remember, I used to have these back in the day, and I remember them all just being one solid color.
Right. I think they had several different series of them come out, and special. I think I saw something where SpaghettiOs had special monsters that you could send off for if you.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
The Spaghetti-O monster. Spooky-Os.
Spooky-Os. But there is a story, like I said. It kind of ties into the comic book. And there was a cartoon, but that has nothing to do with this particular story. So, would you like me to tell you about the story?
I'd love to hear about this very short story.
The evil monster known as Warlock wants to rule over all the monsters. So he creates a shrinking spell to punish anyone who tries to stop him from ruling. All the monsters join him, except for Vampire and the Monster. Warlock screws up the spell and accidentally shrinks all the monsters. He sends out his generals to stop the two rogue monsters, which are Spring-Heeled Jack, Bigfoot, Kraken, Gremlin, and Medusa. Vampire and Monster find their way into a teenager's pocket named Miles.
Whoa there, Dracula and the monster. What are you getting up to?
Well, and you know what? I read something else where his name was different, so that may not be his name. But we have a friend named Miles from the Best Darn Diddly, so I thought it was best that monsters are trying to get in his pants.
Yeah, he'd probably appreciate that.
So, anyways, they end up going home with him. The monsters are sitting back, enjoying some TV when Warlock...
The Konami television.
I did notice the Konami television. That was pretty cool. But they're watching this TV when Warlock takes over the broadcast and ends up sending his army of monsters after them, and they basically have to fight their way downstairs, through the kitchen, to the street, in the sewer, to a construction site, in a oriental garden.
Yes.
And then they have to make it to Monster Mountain to try to take down Warlock.
And then back to the living room.
And then back in front of the TV for whatever reason.
Warlock kind of reminds me of a Max Headroom or a Racer Head or something like that.
Yeah, that's exactly kind of what
I would just pops up on the TV and he doesn't look that creepy. You're thinking Monster in My Pocket, this guy's taking on, pretty much the monster's Frankenstein and a vampire.
Yep.
So, you're not really that intimidating looking, man. You got some, sweet-ass hipster haircut from the 1970s, 60s. It's like a pompadour, kind of thing going on.
Yeah, he's not very intimidating. He's just ha, 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 I'm gonna send my henchmen after you. And you're
yeah, they're whoa, we're gonna kick your butt!
Yeah, and that's what starts it all. So, this game should take anywhere from 25 minutes to 40 minutes. I did find a dual speedrun by X2 Poet and Dragon XYK of 14 minutes and 14 seconds, because they played together at the same time.
Yeah, if you can double team these bad guys, it takes off a lot of time.
Right. So, basically in this game, you platform, you make your way through each level like I was talking about a minute ago. Yeah, you go through the level and get bombarded by enemies. You can punch, duck and punch, jump and punch, or double jump. That's it. That's all your buttons do.
Double jump comes in handy. You can just jump over a lot of the bad guys if you're trying to get somewhere fast.
Yeah, I really wouldn't suggest trying to take on every enemy on screen. I think
there's no need to. Well, you can get an extra life if you get so many points, but you can just breeze through this pretty much if you really wanted to.
Yep. And at the end of each level, you do face one of those bosses that I mentioned earlier, the first one being Spring-Heeled Jack, which is if you've ever looked up cryptids or anything, that's a really funny one. Go look up Spring-Heeled Jack. Can
you give a quick synopsis on Spring-Heeled Jack?
Basically, legend says that he's got some springs in his boots, and he bounces around, and if I remember correctly, he likes boobies, and he'd go jump and grab boobies, and
because this guy was throwing knives at you, but this guy would like jump around and grab boobs.
Well,
Goobs can get behind that.
The vampire and the monster character did not have boobs, so I would throw knives at them as well. But he also breathes fire and stuff, like just depending on which legend. But yeah, there's a bunch of cryptid characters in here, so it's a pretty cool.
So it ties right into the spooky time of year.
Yeah, perfect timing.
And the titty grabbing time of year.
That's right.
If consent allows.
Yes, get the consent.
We're not Spring Hill Jacks around here. Always ask.
Don't be a Spring Hill Jack.
Yeah. Spring Hill Jack doesn't ask for consent.
Don't be a Spring Hill Jack is a new t-shirt on our TeePublic page. Okay, so
Spring Hill Jack off. Someone had to make that joke.
Yeah. I'm glad we didn't leave that stone unturned.
Our listeners will be disappointed.
Right. So, let's go ahead and get a small spoiler out of the way. If you plan on playing this game, fast forward, I don't know, a minute, because I'm going to ruin something starting now. Now I'm going to ruin something. A minute. Okay, so there are 6 regular levels. At the end of each of those levels, you do fight one of the bosses. On the 6th level, you fight the boss, and then when you think it's over, you fight him again on the 7th level. So it's a little bit of a twist, but it's a pretty cool twist.
Like M. Night Shyamalan wrote this game.
I dug it. I thought that was kind of neat, because you're like, oh, the game's over, and then wham, one more. So I thought that was pretty neat. The 6th level, though, is a gauntlet. You are going to fight all the bosses over again. I'm going to say it now. The bosses are the least difficult thing in this video game.
Yeah, going through the level is way more hard. And the levels are... I really like the level design in this game, how it's like a shrunken... Like, you're going through a house, and there's multiple levels that you can go through. Like, you can stay on the floor, you can jump onto the beds or the dressers, and go from there, and there's different paths you can take, which I really enjoyed. Because you're like, oh, shit, I'm getting my ass handed to me on the floor. Well, let's go up then, and see what's up there. And there's like, oh, there's a witch there. I never saw the witch before. Get away from me, witch bitch.
Yeah, no, it's really cool that there are multiple paths that you can take in the same levels. The levels aren't, like, super long, but it's still interesting.
This whole game isn't super long. You can beat this game in one setting.
Yeah, it goes pretty quick. Like I said, 25, maybe 45 minutes at the longest if you have a little bit of trouble. But, I mean, I think I beat it in like 30, 35 minutes. But I'm
around the same mark.
I was trying to like really explore and see what all was happening, you know? But
those moving platforms on some of the stages, man... They'll get you sometimes.
They're pretty rough. I hated the sewer. The sewer was probably my least favorite level in this game.
Yeah, we're on like the cap or whatever the heck it is going through.
Yeah,
you have all those things jumping at you and the dead fish, and if one hits you, you're falling off.
Yeah,
you can jump and like swipe them. That's what I was doing. Just like, okay, here they come. Jump and swipe. Jump and swipe. Jump and swipe. Do not let them get anywhere close to you, or else you are dinner.
Yeah, you get knocked off this thing and you fall in the water, and it's an immediate death. Which that's a good thing to bring up, though. When you die, you don't start back at the beginning. If you have lives,
you start off right where you were.
I love that. I like that. I never felt like I got frustrated because, like, you know, usually because there's a shitload of enemies. Like I was saying a minute ago, the bosses are super easy. They've got really... easy patterns to learn. You can pick them up really quick. If you just dodge them for the first 2 or 3 attacks, you'll see what's happening real quick, and then you can just beat them very quickly. They have simple attacks.
Levels just flood the stages with like all sorts of different little creatures coming at you.
Yeah, everything from witches, like you said, dinosaurs,
all those lions that spit fire.
Lions, yeah, all kinds of crazy monsters and stuff are coming at you.
And those little sexy little elves that like to slide down the construction site level at you.
Yeah.
Pose all fancy up there.
And did you ever get any kind of like all your characters were blinking because there were so many enemies on the screen?
Oh yeah, there's definitely slowdown on this game.
It's
like when they really flood it to you in the later levels, you're like, oh, okay. I had it happen to me. There's one stage where you're running downhill and there's golf balls chasing after you. And there's one segment where 2 golf balls come down. And you got to really time your jump. You got to double jump over them or else you're going to take damage. And then all of a sudden, like, it started like glitching out on me. I'm like, oh, freak no, man. And then, yeah, I got hit by a golf ball, lost the health. But you get one of those handy dandy health canisters that are lying around.
Right. Yeah, there are little health pickups throughout the level, so that's not bad. And they're it's not like there's so many that it's like it makes the game super easy. They're spread out pretty far, Sometimes you won't see one for like the entire level, and then you'll see like 2. And you're like, okay, you could have put
like
one in the middle.
One for you, one for your friend.
Oh yeah, okay. I didn't even think about it being that.
Because it's not like the whole like Ninja Turtle thing. Like, who wants the pizza right now? You want the pizza?
Yeah, you have to fight over it. Or you grab the pizza. I needed it so bad.
Yeah. Then like people are butthurt and shit happens. And someone gets punched in the face.
Shit happens.
So who did you play through? Because there's 2 characters you can play as we mentioned. You can play through the vampire or the monster.
So I'm a big Frankenstein fan, or Frankenstein's monster, but the Frankenstein movies. So I went with the monster. I do like Dracula. I like monsters. I like monster movies, but I went with Frank.
See, and I knew that you were going to do that from knowing you, because when we record, there's a big giant Frankenstein poster you painted over your head.
Yeah.
So it's just like, he's going to be Frankenstein or the monster, so I'm going to be Dracula or the vampire. So I'm like, let's get 2 different opinions on this. But it really doesn't matter who the fuck you pick. It's just a reskin, because they absolutely do the same thing.
Yeah, I went back and played just the first 2 levels again with the vampire. And yeah, exactly the same. They Now, I will say the vampire, his cape is badass. The sprites
when he jumps.
His sprites of it floating, it looks really cool. So I was like, man, I could have been looking at that the whole time, because it is cool.
Yeah, when you double jump, it kind of looks like you're levitating a bit, but you're not.
Right. With this game though, like, was there anything that you just wish there was more of, or do you wish there was more levels? Like, what do you think this game could have done to improve?
It could have been a bit longer, but it was a fun pace. Like, you don't want to get bored of something, right? Like, this is a side scroller. Like, you don't want to be doing the same thing over and over and over again for 2 hours or whatever, right? So, let's just say this isn't a classic. Like, Mega Man, I can play a Mega Man game for 2 hours straight and not get bored of it, because there's different challenges and stuff like that. This game was pretty straightforward for the most part. You just go through the level, and sometimes they throw something in, like you go across on a crane or something. And I appreciate little things like that, but this one thing this game really needed was some extra power-ups or something along the way.
Yeah.
It would have been nice to, like, show your power. Like, say I can turn into a bat and fly around for a little bit, or you're the monster, you can just, like, rage out and smash everything in sight and, like,
oh yeah,
be immune
really
to damage,
cool.
right? Like, really show your monster's abilities and capabilities.
See, here's one thing that I think would have added a little more spice to this game. If some of the items in the
better not have garlic in it.
No garlic. No, I think it would have been cool to interact with some of the items in the background. Like when you're in the kitchen area, like maybe when you're by the sink, you could flip it on and the water like washes enemies away or something.
Yeah.
Just something small.
Or like pick up the key that's in the bedroom level and like throw it at someone.
I was expecting that key to go to something, so I was carrying it all around, getting my ass kicked, and I never found anything that it went to. And then in other levels, like the construction site, you can pick up screws.
Yeah.
So I don't know if there was too many other items, because I was just kind of like, well, this is kind of.
Oh, it's fun to yell though when you throw it, like, get screwed.
Lots of dad jokes. How'd you think the controllers handle?
They were good for what they were. They were pretty tight at times. Some, like, the really tight jumping parts, some of the levels I flubbed up a couple times. And I'm going to blame the controls with air quotations.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, I had no problem with them. We've had some definitely worse games with controls, and this wasn't one of them.
I think Konami, for the most part, is it's kind of like our Capcom games. Like they always usually have pretty good.
Yeah, they know their
shit. The only problem I had with the jumping, the double jump. You know how some games
sometimes it would work, sometimes it wouldn't.
Well, sometimes, you had to do the double jump within like the going up motion. If you were already coming down even a little bit, it wouldn't double jump. So that was the only thing. But that's not even that's
you get used to that pretty fast.
Yeah, you learn real quick. Oh, if I come down, I'm not double jumping. So yeah, make sure if you're trying to get the highest, make sure you're at the peak of the jump before you double jump or hit it again. Other than that, though, the punching range is pretty short. You got to pretty much be
like
hugging.
A punch or like a slash, kind of. Like, I was imagining, like, because I was playing the vampire, so I was like, I'm using my claws to slash forward. Like, that's how I envisioned it in my mind.
Right. Yeah, it was just really tight on the character. Like, your hitbox is just barely behind that punch, So if you mess up and you punch just a hair too late, then you're getting hit.
Oh yeah, you're gonna get hit a lot when you play this counter because you come right back to life right away.
Yeah, you only get 2 or 3 continues, but you start out with 3 lives for each continue, right?
Yep.
So I mean, you've got plenty of lives to get.
And like I said before, you can gain extra lives as you go through. Like, I think it's every 500 points you get a life.
Yeah. For killing the enemies. What'd you think of the music?
I actually didn't mind the music. I thought it fit perfectly within the game. And very catchy. You're not playing the same song all the time. So, and the game's short, like I said, so the music did not get to me at all like it has in other games. Bubsy! But, I really enjoyed the playthrough, and the music really added to it for me.
Yeah, I thought the music was good. I think music in Konami games are usually pretty good for the most part.
The ending music was kind of really upbeat and zany. I'm like, what the hell is this right now?
Well, it is a toy line. I don't think they were necessarily supposed to be super spooky. So,
well, that's what we needed. Lightning bolts.
Yeah.
Or thunder, not lightning bolts, stupid goobs.
You were close.
Yeah, shut up, Professor Oak.
You called him out. Wow, that's weird. Breaking the fourth wall. So I read somewhere that someone was like, this music's a ripoff from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles the second one, not the first one, the second one.
That may be why I enjoyed it so much.
Well, I went back and tried to compare some of it, and I could see where the person's kind of saying it, because it kind of sounds a little bit similar, but every one of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle tracks have somewhere in the mix of it all, so it's not like...
And we would have picked that out if we heard that.
Yeah, no shit. I think it's just the same tones are used. Again, it's a Konami game. I'm sure they had the same composers for each game, or on at least a handful of the same game. So, yeah, you're going to get some of the same style. So, I don't think it's bad. I liked it. I enjoyed it. I wouldn't rank it in any kind of top list, but it's pretty.
Yeah, no, it didn't weigh on me. Sometimes the music really weighs on me when you're playing something over and over, like a really challenging game. You're like, okay, I have enough of this, man. The same 30 seconds here, but no, I didn't have this at all with this game. So, thumbs up to you, not my pet monster in my pocket. Also, thumbs up to My Pet Monster, because that show was awesome.
So, which one of the boss battles did you like the most? Because they're pretty simple, like we said, but I wanted to see if you had a favorite that was, like, kind of fun.
I enjoyed the Kraken one the most.
The Kraken Yeah, the Kraken wasn't bad.
It was-
It kind of pissed me off because I couldn't figure out the tentacles on it at first, like what it was going to do, and then I got my ass whooped before I was like, oh,
Yeah,
okay,
I just
see
let
the
it come
pattern.
up. I let the tentacles flail around for a bit. I laugh at it, then jump in, get a few like strikes in as he's going down because I didn't want to take any damage. So I'm like, okay, this guy's easy. I can take 2 minutes to beat him. Let's just do it. But I like watching as like he comes up as like an inflatable waving arm man, like, hey guys, what's up?
That's all he does. I think the gremlin battle was neat. He's hanging from a hook at the construction site, and I thought that was pretty interesting.
Pretty sure you see his butt when you kill him.
I didn't notice. I'll be looking for that though.
Toby, the butt watcher.
So you want me to give you some fun facts on this game?
I'd love to hear some creepy facts.
Ooh, that's right. These are very creepy.
You guys got 3 more weeks of this, so
Enjoy
hold
it.
in there.
Or- yeah. So the Hobgoblin and Gremlin were good monsters in the comic book as comic relief, but in this, they appeared as villains.
Oh shoot! They had a change of heart.
Yeah. Other monsters from the comics: werewolf, vampires, golem, swamp beast, the Phantom of the Opera, Invisible Man, Dr. Jekyll, and Mummy made no appearances.
Oh
I think
man!
I think the Invisible
Sorry, go
Man.
on.
I think the Invisible Man is in this. We just didn't see him. Then I was waiting for you to say anything, and you just looked at me like,
No,
what?
because I thought you were giving me a fun fact there. I normally listen to your fun facts and then... Well, I have a mind-blowing fact right now, or
Okay.
an idea. Imagine if this game was done in Mega Man style,
Oh,
where you're like a monster hunter taking on the monsters and you go through.
ooh, that'd be cool. You get like some kind of power or some
Or like
some
a
kind of
relic
weapon.
or like a
Yes.
curse or something like you kill Medusa, you get the head, like kind of like God of War, like shit like that, but
But NES style. We want the God of War NES. Let's see. Oh,
God of monsters.
so in Asia, this game was released in Asia. Can you believe that?
Yeah,
But
it
it-
could. There's an Oriental Garden in it.
Yeah, I know there is, but it wasn't actually Monsters in My Pocket that got released in Asia.
Oh,
This was reskinned, exact same game, 100%, except
like
they
same sprites and everything?
same sprites throughout the whole entire game, except for our main two heroes, the monster and vampire. They were changed to Batman and Flash.
Really?
And that's what the game's called. The game is called Batman and Flash. And it looks like a poor excuse for Batman, and Flash has Batman pointy ear things. Like I said, it's basically a ROM hack, but everything else in the entire game is exactly the same. Batman and Flash are
Like all the villains are same and everything,
Yes.
and they don't replace them?
yes, nothing is replaced. They're sitting in front of a giant TV at the very start of the game.
See, they could have easily had Joker. If these people weren't lazy, Joker could have been on the TV.
Yeah, you know what? It would have made just as good of a Batman game, you know? So, who knows?
Yeah, no, you definitely could have reskinned all the villains and just have Warlock as Joker.
Yeah.
That would have been perfect.
Spring Hill Jack could have been Penguin. Yeah,
No, Penguin would have been
on the crane.
the second one in the freezer.
Oh, that's
Penguins
supposed to
are
be Bigfoot. I don't know why.
It was more of a Yeti to me.
That's what I
'cause he's
thought,
shooting
too.
ice at you.
That's exactly what I thought.
Poison Ivy could have been the Medusa or the witches or whatever the hell they were.
Yeah, they could have done something with it. But anyways, so yeah, if you look for...
No, I'm getting really onto this now, man. We should make this. Stop trying to sidetrack me.
I would assume this is on the Famicom. So if you look for this version on Famicom, it's Batman and Flash. At the copyright screen, press and hold right, A, B, and select, and then press start. If you do this right, the sound test will appear. So you can get to the sound test options, which not every game has. I just thought that was neat.
I always like playing around the Mortal Kombat ones.
Right.
So maybe I'll go back and listen, because some of the tracks I did like, so it'd be nice to go revisit them.
Yeah. And the last thing I got is you can buy a copy of this game loose for about $35. I saw some of the auctions on eBay going for around 50, but 35 to 50, 35 being a pretty good deal. So if someone's selling it for 30, I'd pick it up.
Pick it up, yeah. 30 or less, grab it. It's not bad.
If you find it closed in a box, you're going to be paying like $90 or more, it looks like. So,
did it come with like an exclusive like monster or anything?
See, I think I read something that it did come with one, and it was inside the NES box. I don't remember who it was or what it was exactly, but I think there was an exclusive figure in the box. So I think you're right.
Sweet, that one's probably worth a lot of money. So if you get it in box, sell the figure, probably pay for the game.
Hell yeah. Okay, so let's move on to the rage meter.
Oh, come on!
Okay, so you know what?
The grave meter.
The grave meter. So the rage meter is or grave meter right now for the spooky holidays is our 1 to 10 scale of how pissed off this game made you or put you in the grave almost. So I'm going to go first. Yeah, I usually let you go first.
We're going to do feet under for our rating. Yep.
Feet under?
How many feet under did you put you 10 feet under?
This only put me 6 feet under out of 10. I don't think this game was terribly hard. I feel like the game was pretty smooth for the most part, played pretty well. I think the most frustrating thing about this game is just getting bombarded by enemies. I mean, maybe 6 is a little high. Maybe I could put it at a 5. I think it's just
Mr. Colomillo for changing my shit around.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to. I'll go to a 5. I'll safely put it at a 5 because it's not frustrating. It's just the levels, just the screen fills up with so much that it slows down the game. You know.
Yeah.
So, I love the level designs and everything. So there's not much to rage about. I wish there was like you said, some kind of extra feature, like a extra power that you could use or interact with some more of the items.
Or like invincibility, a shield, like something. Have something in there for us.
And maybe an extra level or two. But that doesn't.
I'd
really
like more characters. If I had a choice of 4, that'd be good.
Yeah, I guess really, like I said, the rage just comes from the amount of enemies that are on the screen at one time during the normal parts of the levels. So I'm gonna go with 5. 5 it is. What do you got?
I'm going to give it a solid 4.5. My couple playthroughs weren't that bad. I enjoyed myself going through. And, nothing really too hard I found in this game. Like you said, the bosses are easier than the levels are. The one thing that does, get the rage meter is the 2 platforming parts where you're just going across the construction level, you're on the crane, you go on, and you have those little bastards with the hook for a hand.
Yep.
And you thought you timed it perfectly, but no, you didn't, and you jump and they hit you and knock you right off the map and take away a full life. So I'm just like, that part got to me a little bit, and same thing with the dead fishes, but everything else was kind of a piece of cake. Really enjoyed just playing through it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean... There's not a whole lot to get real angry about on this game.
No, there's really not. You're only playing for a half hour, 40 minutes tops. Yeah, so you can't really rage about anything. Cause they're very lenient in lives and continues.
Yeah. There's just... It's just nothing to rage about. I mean, with monsters and everything, you'd think it'd be a little bit more...
chaotic. Well,
chaotic.
It can get chaotic at times, but not severely chaotic.
Right.
Controllable chaos.
So I guess let's let's get spooky and give it a 1 to 10 rating on what we thought of the game overall.
Well, yeah, it was 4.5 feet under. I even took away my own rating. Jeez.
So, what did you think of the game? 1 to 10.
I will give this a 6.5. A 7. Let's go for a 7. It's short, it's sweet, has everything you want in a platformer side scroller, besides like the power-ups and stuff like that, which we touched on several times. But I enjoyed the sprites. Dracula's cape, like we said, mesmerizing. The bad guys were memorable. The final bosses of each level were a lot of fun. Like, you can figure out their patterns very easily. Just like if you played a Mega Man game. We always go back to Mega Man here on this show. You can memorize those patterns very easily as well. And get through those bosses no problem. Same thing with this game. And fighting them all again was a cinch. It wasn't too bad. I wish the bad guy was a bit different. Warlock wasn't really that scary to me. I wish they had something else in that. And fighting the TV at the end of it, spoilers, is kind of, I don't know, kind of a lame cop-out. Like, I know we killed the guy again, but he could have came up and blew up the TV and showed up in the living room again. But that's 2020's hindsight. But yeah, overall, I really enjoyed this game, and if anyone's into monsters or anything like that, or just fun side-scrollers, go pick this game up for sure. It's not too expensive on the price scale of some of the stuff we played, so pretty easily accessible.
I'm going to give it a 7.5 rating.
Oh, nice.
I really enjoyed it. This will actually probably become something that I throw in my rotation of like, I'm bored, but I don't want to get too invested in a game. It's a perfect length. It's fun enough that I'll probably come back to it and play it a couple more times.
It's got the right amount of challenge at times. And
yeah, it's relaxed. It's not just beat you over the head fucking hard, you know? And it's not, I'm breezing through this. It's so stupid easy. So I really like the middle ground that it had. Again, the power-ups, just a little more would have made this probably an 8 or an 8.5 to me. Extra levels would have definitely put it up at an 8 or an 8.5. But yeah, 7.5 is what I'm going to stick with. I really enjoyed all the sprites, all the animations.
And plus, you're really into cryptids and monsters. Like,
yeah.
Straight up your alley.
And each level has a bunch of different monsters. So you're not seeing... I mean, you're going to see a bunch of goblins or whatever on that particular level, but then the next level, you're going to get a bunch of different monsters.
Yeah, you get a whole new set, man. And that's what I really appreciated as well.
Yeah, you're not getting, like, the same bullshit over and over just with the new palette swap.
Yeah, a new color paint on them.
So I thought that was really neat. Good game. I definitely want to have it in my collection. I definitely need this in my personal collection. Yeah, I think so. I like it. Again, it'll be something I go back to and play. I'll probably make it a Halloween tradition because I liked it a lot. I didn't get a chance to play the 2-player mode, but I think that would be a lot of fun to boot on with one of the kids or something, and you know.
Yeah, I haven't got a chance to play that either, so that'd be a lot of fun to get to, just to see how that plays out. See if it makes the game that much easier or that much more frustrating if someone's taking all your heart canisters.
Finish him.
You can find me, Goobs, on Twitter. I'm at GoobsWN. GOOBZWN. Never spelled it out before, but I probably should, because people might think it starts with or ends with an S, not a Z. It's a Z. And then I also do another show called The Derailers with my wonderful wife, Jenny Bean, and my best friend, Ripkin. Go check that show out. We jump the train off the tracks every single week, and it's absolutely a lot of fun. We have random conversations, and who knows what we're talking about? Because we sure don't. And we also watched Derailed Wrestling on YouTube. Go check it out. The channel is called Wrestlers Wrestling. And you know what? There's a new video game coming out soon, WWE 2K19. We're going to take full advantage of that and try to recreate our roster from 2K18 and bring you all the mayhem and all the shit that we can only bring you. And some podcasters will be on there, and it'll be absolutely mayhem. Jump into the rocket and fuel it up, brothers.
Damn.
If you could only see the movements that Toby just saw, you'd be impressed.
Yeah, it was really impressive. I wish my my little spiel was as entertaining as you.
Action-packed and cream of the crop.
But for me, I'm just gonna speak regularly
What?
like Toby.
Hi, I'm Toby.
Hi, I have another podcast. No, I do have another podcast. It is called the Secret Transmission Podcast. You can find it on all the major podcasting platforms. And we discuss spooky stuff all year long, not just in the month of October, but all year long. We talk about cryptids. We talk about serial killers. We talk about conspiracies, UFOs, ghosts, anything spooktacular all year long. So go check it out, Secret Transmission Podcast. And for our show, the Secret Levels Podcast, you can find us on social media, on Twitter and Instagram at Secret Levels Pod. Hit us up, chat with us.
Oh, I haven't signed up yet, but I have downloaded Instagram on my phone.
Ooh.
Step 1 completed.
All right. So hopefully next week we'll have a Instagram handle and Google
Instagram update.
Hopefully,
Have I signed up or not?
yeah. Hopefully Goobs will start taking pictures of his collection and stuff, and maybe get on the Secret Levels account and start posting stuff. Hey, that's all you got to do. You don't even have to make an account; it's already there. We also have a Facebook page, Secret Levels Podcast, and we also have a group where you can discuss video game and video game accessories called the Secret Levels Group. That's it. So join us, talk with us.
Check all that stuff out, and also check out tpublic.com/users/secret levels. Toby has made some amazing design shirts there, and why not go throw them on your chest, folks, because there's going to be some amazing stuff. Not going to be some amazing stuff. There is amazing stuff. Toby's makes amazing work. It's a whole bunch of retro-inspired video game logos that we have taken, quotation marks,
Parodied.
and made them our own. And they're a lot of fun.
Of Capitol Hill to work out a compromise health care.
So, Hernando, I heard you're a robosexual. Could you tell us what that is?
Well, I'm in love with a robot that I created, and she's the most beautiful piece of metal I've ever seen in my life, and she has feelings, and I just love her to death. She's my one and only.
Monster has feelings like robots. Any feelings or heart? I now disrupt your schedule feature Dr. Phil to warn you two little bastards that I am coming to disrupt your whole world right now. I am sending my minions right after you because I am Warlock, and I'm in your television, and I'm in your minds right now, Monster and Dracula, Vampire Man.
Blah. What are you doing? We're trying to watch Dr. Phil, blah.
Monster loves Phil.
Blah, see?
I don't care if you love or like Dr. Phil. My monsters are infiltrating your premises right now. So you two goofballs better be ready.
Blah, but we don't care if you run all the monsters. We just want Dr. Phil. Blah.
So all you two care about is television? You're not even worth my minions coming to fight you. I've had it. You just two rot your brains for the rest of your life. I will not kill you as a sacrifice. Warlock
Blah,
has
get the
spoken.
fuck off my screen, blah.
All you say is blah, blah, blah. Fuck off. I want to have fun killing you two. This ain't a fucking challenge. Fucking Dr. Phil. Fuck this shit. Game over, folks.